Hey guys, I'm Kevin,
I'm Jake.
and this is Movie Matters. So, we were supposed to do a bad 80s movie, but Jake watched the wrong movie, and I fast forwarded through the correct movie because it was so bad. So, we've decided not to review that movie called Things from 1989, Jake.
Yeah.
We are going to do our year in review. That way, we start the next year fresh and ready to roll with new movies. So, we're going to do our top 5 and our bottom 5 movies of the year. And we did 45 movies overall. And I'm excited to share mine. But I want to kind of talk about the movie that we were supposed to watch and the month that we had of bad 80s movies. And so we were supposed to watch Things from 1989. I ended up watching the correct movie, but like I said, I fast forwarded it through it because it was horrible. It was like it just the production value was terrible, the dialogue was terrible, and I'm glad we're not reviewing it because this episode would be like 5 minutes because I have nothing to say on it because it was so bad.
Yeah.
However, it's one of those movies that you can't watch alone. You have to watch with a bunch of people. Because it's so ridiculous, and it'll make you like it, and you'll have a good experience. Versus, I just watched it by myself, and I was like, I just can't watch this.
Yeah.
It's a guy who shot a movie in his parents' basement for like 40 grand, and it makes no coherent sense whatsoever. Jake, what did you watch?
So I watched this other movie that was like. Prime said it was 2014, but that cannot be correct.
I would doubt it because it's like when we watched The Killer, it said 2024.
Yeah. So some of the dates are wrong on there. So that's
think
what I
it's when
kind
it
of
was added
assumed.
to Amazon.
Yeah, I thought it was just a misprint of the date. So I watched this movie that was like just terrible. It was shot with like a camcorder or something. Like it was terrible, like resolution and stuff. The dialogue was out of sync by about 10 seconds, so it was completely unwatchable. Like I had no idea what was like actually happening most of the time. But it was like the setup was a wife finds a mistress that her husband is like having an affair with, and like kidnaps her and then tells her 2 horror stories back to back that are like, you know, told as like mini movies like within the larger movie. And then the movie ends with her bringing this, like, I don't know if she's a hooker or what, but back to her garage that's just filled with other hookers that her husband has been sleeping with and just throws her in. It was really stupid.
And did you rent this movie? Did you have to pay to rent it?
Yeah. But it was like $1.50 or something.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was like, I thought it was the right movie. So I was just like sitting through it and I'm like, this is pretty bad, but
It worked out for the best because I really didn't want to review this movie that we did.
and quite frankly, it would have completely ruined our like ongoing theme of this month, which was underrated bad movies, basically.
Yeah.
So that would have been the only one that was like truly an absolutely shitty movie. So
Yeah, agreed. So, and I want to talk about that. Our 80s movies that we did this month are kind of misunderstood movies that were either had bad publicity, if I can say that word correctly, because I can't talk, and just had bad word of mouth, bad reviews. But honestly, all the movies weren't horrible. I will admit one did make my bottom 5. I'm not going to tell you which one yet.
yeah.
But they weren't as bad as what people said. What are you drinking?
Sunset Sarsaparilla.
All right.
It's from Fallout.
Is it good?
Yeah, it actually does taste really good.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I liked this month. I thought it was a good month.
Yeah, I'd
And
like
we're
to do another month like this, because it was fun to find these movies that are a little bit of like hidden gems in some
yes.
cases that going straight off of critical reviews, you would probably never bother watching.
Yeah, and honestly, lately, critical reviews, it's like, oh yeah, it got great reviews, but that doesn't really mean anything to me anymore, to be honest.
No, like the joke is that like Rotten Tomatoes is like usually polar opposites between the critics and the audience scores, so you can't trust what critics are saying at all anymore.
Yeah, and it could be paid. They could be paid for that. For their positive review. You never know, and that's another problem with Hollywood. We talk a lot about problems with Hollywood. Not that we're experts by any means. It's just our opinion on it. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. So we watched 45 movies this year. We had a couple weeks where we didn't watch any movies just because we were out of town and stuff like that, and holidays and everything like that. But I came up with my top five, my bottom five pretty quickly. Didn't take me too long to settle on which ones were which. But what do you just give me your thoughts on the year, Jake? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we did some like quick counting before we started recording. I think you said I had only seen 12 movies of the 45.
Out of the 45. So that's 33 unseen. I had seen, this is actually really funny. I had seen 32 movies out of the 45, so 13 unseen. So it's really like,
Opposite.
I mean, it's an odd number, but it's like, yeah, it's literally opposite, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
And just so the listeners and viewers know, like, we kind of just randomly picked these movies, and Jake did a lot of the picking. We've kind of just kind of searched the internet of, hey, this is what we should watch, and this would be a cool theme. We've been kind of focusing on themed months for the year of like, oh, let's do bad 80s movies, let's do legacy sequels, let's do 80s sequels to their 80s movie, stuff like that. So and we've got some fun news for next year and what we're kind of going to do for that, but we'll save that for the end of the episode. But yeah, I mean, I always like seeing movies that I've never seen before, but it just so happens that it's usually me that has seen most of them compared to you, Jake.
Yeah.
But I also
you've just seen way more movies than I have in general.
True,
but
but I also love sharing movies and being like, oh, you got to see this, and oh, you should see this, and
yeah.
Like today, I went to lunch with one of my buddies, and I was like, he asked me, he goes, give me a recommendation for an 80s movie to watch, and my recommendation was Midnight Run with Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. I love that movie. I think it's a super underrated comedy. And I just love 80s movies, and that's why I wanted to start this podcast. It's just because I love movies so much. So, let's start with bottom five. What was your, so I want to go in what would this be considered?
5 to 1.
Yes.
Least worst to worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's start with 5. What do you got?
I've got Streets of Fire.
Okay.
I think we both agreed in that episode that it was not a great movie, but it had some like interesting elements to it. But I mean, we just watched so many superior movies this year, so
Yeah.
yeah, I would put that at my number 5 worst.
Okay. That's on my list, but it's not the bottom. It's Raw Deal was number 5 for me.
Okay.
Just because I'm a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and so speaking of, all these movies are movies I rated movies that I hadn't seen in my bottom 5 and my top 5, because it would be a shame to be like, oh, Empire Strikes Back that we did,
Right.
That's the best movie. Like obviously, okay, Airplane, like obviously, like I didn't do the obvious movies. I did movies I hadn't seen. So. Yeah, Raw Deal, I surprisingly had never seen, especially being a Schwarzenegger fan growing up. It was super disappointing. There was a good movie lurking under there. That was kind of that whole month for me, where we did like some Chuck Norris movies and like, you know, Code of Silence. We just, all those movies had such a great premise, but they were just executed so poorly. And I thought Raw Deal was one of those. And that it was just very disappointing to me because it's Schwarzenegger, and it was like kind of in his prime of 80s movies when that movie came out, and it was just bad.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got for 4?
I wholeheartedly agree because I had Raw Deal as my number 4. And I'll just echo everything. Like, yeah, I was like, after watching like Commando and Terminator and stuff, you know, for the show, like I was like excited to see another Arnold action movie, and like it was just so inferior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, come on, people. Our 100th episode was Terminator 2, okay?
Yeah.
We're big Schwarzenegger fans here. Number 4 was Invasion USA for me.
Okay.
I like barely remember the movie, honestly. I just remember Chuck Norris dual wielding some Uzis,
Yep.
which sounds cool,
It
But again-
should be so cool.
but it just wasn't good. Very forgettable. That's why it's number 4. I honestly don't think any of Chuck Norris's movies are that good in general, to be honest. However, I did like The Lone Wolf McQuade. I thought that movie was just very on brand for our 80s ridiculousness of movies. But Invasion USA didn't have that ridiculousness. Even though it is a ridiculous movie, it didn't have that, like, loving, like
It wasn't
that charm.
quirky and charming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
didn't have
just
that charm to it.
badly absurd.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't the movie end with him like shooting a rocket launcher out of the window or something?
No, he shoots the guy with a grenade
Rocket
launcher or a
launcher.
rocket launcher. Yeah.
Out the window, and then
Yeah,
the movie
he
just
like
ends.
blows up in the area.
Yeah. That's ridiculous, but the movie was just bad.
Like, yeah, so much potential for it to be like crazy
Yeah.
fun, you know?
Could've been
like,
great.
Yeah, but like it took itself way too seriously.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, number 3.
I've got Code of Silence as number 3. Yeah, just like it, very decent police crime drama kind of premise, set in Chicago. So like, you know, instantly get you and I, you know, kind of fired up
Yeah.
about it. And then, yeah, it's just like a subpar plot and stuff overall. Could have been so much better. I mean, in that episode we talk about, you know, ways that it could have probably been done better, but yeah, again, like I want a Chuck Norris movie that's like decent.
The Chuck Norris movie. We
Yeah,
want him
you know.
kicking ass.
And like, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
maybe we just picked the wrong Chuck Norris movies for that like action month, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should look into that. We should do some other ones. I've been wanting to rewatch Sidekicks. I don't know if I mentioned that in one of our Chuck Norris movie reviews. There's a movie called Sidekicks where this kid is like daydreaming that he becomes Chuck Norris's action sidekick in his movies. And I remember watching it as a kid being like, this movie's fucking badass. Because like it'd be so cool to be his action sidekick. And it's like a children's movie. And I remember that movie. I could never remember the name, and I finally figured it out. I don't know, like 3 years ago, and I was like, and I haven't watched it since. Or like I still haven't watched it. So we might have to add that to the list.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's we'll see if it holds up, and I've probably only seen it once or twice. All right, number 3 for me was a recent one, Mommy Dearest.
Okay.
I did not like that movie. I thought it was terrible. Again, I will preach this all the time. I fucking hate biopics. I can't stand them, really. They have no rewatch value. They are boring. The story is not cohesive usually. It's just, I don't care. I just don't care. The acting was good, and it's an underrated movie, yes, but it wasn't a good movie to me.
Well, we talked about how it's just not our realm of subject matter interest either.
Yeah.
in general. So, yeah, like whatever.
Yeah, it's about a mom being abusive to her child too. Like, what's entertaining to watch about that?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, number 2.
Over the Top. Did
Oh.
not care for that movie.
It's not a good movie.
Could have been great. Like, if it just stuck to a, like, dad and son bonding road trip reconciliation, kind of thing, like, it would have been, could have been solid. But instead, like 2/3 out of the way through the movie, it turns into an arm wrestling movie, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
Like,
not a good movie.
yeah. So I don't know. Had potential, but kind of squandered it. Stallone, like, I don't know why he even made that movie. I think didn't he get paid like a ridiculous amount of money to
I
do
think
it?
so.
So
I
I
think
mean,
so.
that was like
I'm sure he did.
that was right after Rambo 2.
It was like 86, I think.
I mean, this was like prime Stallone. So like, I don't know
Yeah.
why he did this movie, but
Yeah, very, very much like Raw Deal. Pretty
yeah,
interesting.
same circumstance for sure.
I didn't mind Over the Top. It's not a great movie. But honestly, like, looking back on it, we did a lot of stinkers this year. Like,
Yeah, we did.
A lot of movies weren't great. Yeah, just a lot weren't great.
We got a little more adventurous with the movies
With
that
this
we
year.
picked this
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah, definitely. I agree. That was number 2. That's high up there.
Yeah.
Number 2, Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
okay,
Fucking hated that movie. It was hard to get through that movie. It was so bad and so ridiculous and over the top and not made no sense and wasn't good, and it just I mean, the name speaks for itself. It's yeah. Didn't love that movie at all. It was a stinker for sure. And I'm sure what's funny is we probably go back to our reviews on these movies and we weren't like, that movie was the worst of all time. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't say that.
no,
But looking back on it, like going through the list, these are the ones that stood out to me.
yeah.
All right. Number 1 for bottom 5. Number 1. What was your most hated movie that you did not like? And I think it's Invasion USA.
It is Invasion USA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like so. I mean, it's like had all the potential to be so. Red Dawn versus Invasion USA is like
Red Dawn was awesome.
right. I mean, like, Red Dawn told you how to make a movie about bad guys invading the U.S., and they still managed to screw up Invasion USA. So, I don't know. I mean, it's like they tried to do the, like, straight. I mean, I don't know. We've already talked about it. Like, it's just too serious.
Yeah.
It's really try hard.
But that's
It's
kind
not
of Chuck
great.
Norris. He's just
Yeah.
he is a badass, but a lot of his movies are very try hard.
Yeah.
And I'd almost argue that it's I don't know. Is it the writing? Is it his acting? What is it? What would you say?
I think part of it's just like he's not Schwarzenegger or Stallone.
Yeah.
or even Van
and he's like
Damme.
trying to be.
Yeah, like
Van Damme, that's a pretty
well,
Van
but
Damme is bad.
yeah, but I mean, like he's got I think a little bit more of like an imposing stature, than Chuck Norris does. Like Chuck Norris on film looks like he's like 5'6", like I mean he's like pretty ripped, but like
Oh yeah.
you're not talking about like whenever they put Arnold in a movie, he's always like a foot taller than everyone else. And same with
Austrian oak.
Stallone, like a lot of the time. So
Stallone's not that tall though, which is funny.
no, he's not. But like you think of him as being this like towering like
Oh, yeah.
monster,
Yeah, they're just jacked.
So
What's-
yeah, I think
What's
that's
funny is Norris does write his movies too.
Yeah,
So
he-
I'm going
yeah.
to blame Chuck Norris for being Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I think Try Hard is probably the best way to describe his
I would
movies.
agree. I would agree. It's interesting. You didn't put any of the bad '80s movies we just did as your bottom five in any
No,
of them.
I
That's interesting.
I'd probably put Mommy Dearest at number 6.
Howard the Duck at number 7. Maybe. Maybe.
I don't like. I'd have to go back through the whole list, but like
I know.
Howard the Duck wasn't that bad. Like
It really wasn't.
it
that
wasn't
bad.
great, but like it wasn't that
No.
bad.
No. Yeah. Number one for me. You've already named it. Streets of Fire.
Okay.
Just didn't do it for me. And I think I voiced my opinion in that episode. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I remember I'm just being like, this movie, it just didn't know what it wanted to be, and it had cool thing. There were cool things about it. It just speaking of Try Hard, you've got Invasion USA. You've got Chuck Norris, a very well known actor. In Streets of Fire, you've got that one actor. I don't even know his name because I don't care about him. And he was a terrible leading actor. He was trying so hard to be badass, and it just didn't land for me.
Yeah. Yep.
And you should know this by now. I want a badass 80s action star. And that guy just wasn't it. I'm sorry. That was number one. So, and there were a lot of bad 80s movies, but that was number one for me. It just had a lot of. Again, I think the theme of a lot of our bad movies is they had a great idea, and it was just executed so poorly.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I think like every single one of these movies has at least solid premise, if not great premise, and they're just like poorly executed. Like
Yeah.
and it just as movie lovers, it just kind of pisses us off. I think a little bit that like how
Yeah.
did you botch that idea? Like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's the bottom five. I'm curious what you guys thought of our bottom five. Let us know in the comments if you think some are worse than others,
Or if
you
there's
agree.
a stinker
Literally,
on the list that we didn't
I mean, you
have.
and I, we had 3 out of the 5 as
the same. Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm sure our top 5 are going to be similar as well. So what's number 5? I'm pretty sure this is your number 1 is my number 5. But what was your number 5?
So I actually did a last minute swap
Really?
of my number 1 and my number 5 because I was thinking about it, and I was
Okay.
like, I know you talk about rewatchability a lot
Yes.
as like a driver of like movies that you like, and I thought about it and I was like, okay, I need to think about whether or not I will like enjoy these movies again in the future. So that
Interesting.
prompted my swap.
Interesting, because that would rearrange my entire fucking lineup for top 5.
So
And that's funny because I preach that.
yeah. So so when I put my list together originally, I was going purely off of like, is this a objectively good movie? And then I thought about it and I was like, well, my number 1 should be like my favorite movie that we watched, not
Okay.
just necessarily the best executed film, So
Okay.
that prompted the swap as well.
Interesting. Okay, so what is it?
So
You're-
my
you're-
former number 1 movie that's now my number 5 is Come and See.
Oh, okay.
So I had this as my number 1 originally because it is just a like flawlessly executed masterpiece.
Yeah.
However, it's so brutal and depressing to watch.
It is.
And like, I bought it in 4K and I will watch it again. Probably not for a little while. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, I don't know. It's just a fantastic movie, and I think it deserves recognition for
Agreed.
doing that so well.
Agreed. Yeah. So a lot of mine were. I was trying when I was doing my top 5. I was trying to kind of make it eclectic on purpose, and it was hard to because of the really good movies we watched were all basically like war movies or
Yeah.
like brutal war movies. Like those were all the good ones that we watched. Like every one of them. And so I tried to like I said, be eclectic with it and like put a comedy in there, put an action in there, put a war movie in there. And I couldn't out of all of it. So my number 5 is The Beast. It was
Okay.
one of the first movies we watched of the year. I thought it was super good, super well done, very underrated. One of our listeners had recommended that to us, so thank you again. And that was a super well done movie, and a war movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like we would have never done that movie had we not been recommended it. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad we were because it was a really great movie. And I have a feeling that one is your number 1, but don't say anything because I remember you talking about that pretty highly. All right, number 4. What's number 4?
I've got The Killer.
Okay.
I was excited to do our, like Asian cinema or like
Yeah.
Hong Kong, cinema month.
Yeah.
Not expecting like a whole lot because my only experience with John Woo was Mission Impossible 2, and I like thoroughly dislike that movie of all the Mission
Yeah.
Impossible movies. But The Killer was just so dope, and Chow
Killer's
Yun Fat
awesome.
is just so awesome in it. So yeah, I was like blown away by that movie.
We will have to do a John Woo month in the future.
Yeah, and do
because
some of
his
the
movies
90s and 2000s movies.
His movies are awesome, and I love The Killer. I love that movie. My number 4 is Coming to America. I'd never seen it. It was a great Eddie Murphy movie, really funny, a lot of heart, and made me laugh a lot. I was very, very impressed by that movie. I said so in our review of that. I was shocked I'd never seen that.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was really, really funny. So yeah, that was number 4.
I forgot to mention that I did the same thing that you did, and I don't have any movies that I had seen previously on here. So
Yeah.
I had watched Coming to America in like December of last year. So like
Yeah.
I had barely just seen it the first time. But I didn't want to put it on the list, but that probably would have been on here for me too if
Yeah.
we had done that. But if I hadn't
right.
seen it before.
Yep.
Number
yeah, it's a
3.
great movie. Number 3.
I've got Das Boot.
Okay.
Was a phenomenal movie.
Yep.
Unbelievably long, but like, I mean, I think you and I both talked about like how incredibly well paced it was for being such a long movie,
Yeah.
and like enthralling, and just like a really, really well done war movie from a different and unique perspective. So yeah, I loved it.
That was also my number 3.
Nice.
Das Boot. I bought it and loved it. I thought it was so awesome. It was so well done, and yeah, that movie. I had known about that movie for such a long time, and like Jake, him and I are very similar in terms of we don't want to watch super long movies really anymore.
Yeah.
It just takes up way too much. It's just, and again, I mean, that comes down to us being millennials and our patience, I would imagine. And
When we're both like at the stage now where like we just don't have like 3.5 hours all the time,
Yeah.
to like get
Yeah.
through something like that. But
exactly. But I thought it was fucking awesome. It was so great and so gritty and so realistic and just an awesome, well done movie. And that's kind of like The Beast. The Beast was well done and great and gritty. Yeah. Number 2. What was your number 2?
The Beast.
Okay.
Yeah, I said
The hell's going to be your number 1?
on that
I think I know.
episode, I said that it was probably going to be a top contender for movie
Yeah.
of the year for me. I love that movie. It's just so well done. Again, another like interesting, unique perspective on war. And not a war that I think most people have any familiarity with, which is like super
Yeah.
cool too. And like seeing like a totally different army. Like, and that also why I thought Come and See was interesting, because it was about like Russians and World War II and not the U.S. or British
Yeah.
or whatever. You know, it was like
Different
something
perspective.
different and unique.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was an awesome movie. The tank like thing is just so cool too.
Yeah.
And like, is it Fury? It's like
Yeah.
the somewhat recent tank
Yeah.
movie. Also a very good movie. I'd argue
It
the
was.
Beast is, I think, executed a little bit more interestingly.
Agreed. I would agree.
But I mean, I think it's just the subject matter too. Like it's different. Like Fury is just about a U.S. tank. It's like, okay, yeah, we've all played Call of Duty and done the tank, missions
Yeah.
and like blah blah blah, So
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool. Glad we got that recommendation to do the Beast.
Definitely. What's funny is Fury. I just rewatched Fury. I saw Fury in theaters
Same.
when it came out, and I liked it. I didn't love it. Some parts to me, I was like, why? Like the part where they go into the town and then they're just like having breakfast with these women. I was just like, this doesn't do anything for the story for me. And I didn't watch it for a long time, and I rewatched it recently because I got on a Brad Pitt kick after F1, because I think Brad Pitt, like, in my opinion, I think I mentioned this before, even talking about F1, just in one of our random reviews. He is he's almost underrated. He's so good, Brad Pitt, even though he's so well known and such a movie star. Like he's so underrated, and that's why I went on this kick and I rewatched Fury, and I liked it a lot. I was super impressed with it, and it's such a great comparison that between the Beast. They're different, but kind of they're similar vibes.
Yeah, Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, arguably the last two like movie superstars too.
Yes, agreed. Number 2 for me, The Killer.
Nice.
Yeah, loved it. John Woo knows how to make an action movie. Again, I'm a big fan of Hard Boiled from the 90s, and his action is just so brutal and over the top, and everyone has unlimited ammo, and it's just so fun and so entertaining and so bloody and action-packed. It's great. Yeah, that was my number 2. All right, I think, let me ask you this question real quick before you give me your number 1. Also, Jake, just so you know, Jake and I had not mentioned any of these. We are hearing our top 5 and bottom 5s for the first time to each other. So,
yeah.
like, we had not discussed any of this prior. Had you seen Raging Bull before this podcast at all?
No.
Okay, I think that's your number 1. Is it not? You're laughing. It's
not.
not. Oh, how is that not number 1?
So,
Oh, should I do another guess? Should I
sure.
look through? All right, let me look through. Hold on. How did you not rate Raging Bull in your top 5?
Well, so I'll talk about it in a vague way while you're looking. So originally this was my number 5, but thinking about it this afternoon, I was like I said, Come and See is, a masterpiece, but like it wasn't, like it didn't like really captivate me the way this other movie did. And like there's like I wanted my number 1 movie to be something that like I'm going to repeatedly watch and like have a blast watching it, and like just like really like honestly, like I'm not really sure why it like affected me so much, but I just like loved it and like got super into it. So do you have a guess?
Is it recent? Did we watch it recently?
I can't remember. No, it wasn't. Not in like the last month or 2.
Okay, then it's not Big Trouble in Little China.
No.
Maybe is it a comedy?
No.
Damn. I'm striking. I'm so curious. I don't know. I give up. The Color of Money.
The Color of Money.
Oh!
Yeah, like there's just like I mean, Tom Cruise is just so good in it, and like Paul Newman just like blew me away. He's just so good in it, and like.
And you bought his sunglasses.
I bought not the exact pair, but I bought a pair of Carrera sunglasses because I was like, I want to be like fucking Paul Newman, and like be a badass
Color
when I'm
of Money.
driving around.
Scorsese. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
loved
what,
it.
and like
Just so good.
I had that, like, that was my gut feeling, is that's what it was. And I was just like, it can't be that. It can't be that. 'Cause, I mean, I liked that movie, like, and looking back on it, it's pretty solid. Like, it's actually a really good movie. And I probably rated it a little, I misjudged my rating probably, and like rated it a little less than I should have. Because it is a good movie. But I don't know if I'm necessarily going to rewatch that movie anytime soon, but yeah, that's cool that you like that. And that movie's so well done.
Yeah, like
I mean,
there's just like
Scorsese.
so many like. I don't know. It just like resonated with me like a lot, and I just loved it.
Nice.
Like as an honorable mention, Raging Bull should probably be my number 6. I
Dude,
did
I'm
like it a
shocked.
lot. I will just caveat Raging Bull with being a little too drawn out in the end.
Okay. That makes total sense to me.
Like,
And it, again, what's funny is I'm preaching all these biopic
And that is a
bullshit,
biopic.
and that's basically a biopic.
I mean,
but it's so well done.
kind of
And
it
the
kind of
acting is
is, but it's
incredible.
not like it's much more well done, I think, than most. Like it
100%.
focuses mostly on the boxing, which is like the interesting part. You
Yeah,
know?
it's-
But yeah, it's his like end of life like sequence that's just kind of like, yeah, okay, like, you know,
That's where a biopic can not succeed.
yeah. So, all right, your number 1. Do you want me to guess?
Yeah, I think you're gonna guess it.
All right. Did you have? You wouldn't.
So-
you wouldn't put Come and See as number 1. I don't think.
Are you sure?
I am fairly certain.
Because it's number one.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's number one. That movie. I mean, as depressing as it is, that movie, like, the reason I rated that number one is because, like, that is, I think I mentioned it in the review. It's like, that's one of the best movies ever made. Like, it's in terms of how well it was made, how well it's shot, how realistic it is, how much emotion it makes you feel. It just was like, that is how a movie should be to me. It's like, it should really strike a nerve in either a good way or a bad way. And you should have such an emotional investment to it. And that's why I loved it. And that's why it's number one for me. It's yeah, that's funny. You're like, I don't think it is. I'm
Well,
like, "It
I
is."
mean, because
Well,
like we talked a lot about how you will never watch that movie again.
I might, but yeah, I'm not going to watch it for a long time. But yeah, the rewatch value. So my list goes to shit when it comes to rewatch value.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
4 out of the 5 I probably won't rewatch. Maybe 3 out of the 5. Like The Killer and Coming to America, I will probably rewatch those. But like when it comes to war movies, that's another thing that I think in terms of rewatch value. War movies have a very low rewatch value for me. They're hard. But when it comes to the list of movies that we did this year, I think all the war movies we've done, like 90% of them are awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And it's not from an action standpoint of like, oh my God, this movie's so action packed. It's just from how well they're made.
Yeah.
And that's like comparatively to all the other movies, these movies stand out to me the most because of how well they were made. And Come and See, that's why it's number one, is because it was just like so wild and so crazy that a movie from the 80s could do that and be like that. And that's like, it was very similar to Das Boot. Das Boot was so raw and real and so well done. But like, Come and See has that documentary feel to it where it's like, this feels fucking real, which was so cool. Das Boot has that, but it's still at the surface level, it's still a movie. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think like The Beast, Come and See, and Das Boot, and most of the other war movies we watched really make you forget that you're like watching a movie.
Yeah.
And they're just like super gripping, and like there's not very many movies, I think, that especially today, that like make it actually difficult to like look at your phone during the middle of them. And those three, I think, were like, for sure I didn't look at my phone at all during all three of those movies because I was like completely enthralled. Like, so yeah, I think it is, like I said, it was my number one spot before I swapped it, but
I get that.
It's totally deserving.
Get that. So what's funny is 4 out of our 5 top 5s are the same.
Yeah.
And the only one that's different is Coming to America because you had seen it already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. So what? 7 out of 10 are the same.
Yeah.
Of our bottom 5 and top 5. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. That's
pretty impressive.
45 movies.
Yeah, granted, out of yours, it's only 12 that you hadn't seen.
Yeah.
And out of me, it was, 33 you hadn't seen.
Yeah.
So, well, it was a lot. And out of mine, it was 13. So there was, there were good odds that they were going to mix up.
Yeah.
But, so, let's go back real quick to our list. Out of the movies we have seen, what's your top 3? Let's go top 3.
For the all movies we watched?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
Besides Terminator 2. Terminator 2 doesn't count.
For this year,
Mine are I probably have 3. I already know which ones. Raging Bull. I knew that was going to be in there.
I love
Raging Bull
Airplane.
for me. I'd say that's 3.
Yeah, I'll put that at number 3.
Okay. 2.
I'll throw. I really liked Confess Fletch. If we're going into anything on the list,
Okay.
I'd throw that on there.
I mean, Confess Fletch is like from the new movie standpoint. Yes, I love Confess Fletch.
But if you want
So
me to
good.
keep it 80s, I'd say
Keep it 80s. Keep it 80s. I've got mine. I got mine
Empire
too.
Strikes Back.
Okay.
And I'm going to
That-
keep Color of Money as my number 1 of the year.
Okay.
overall.
Wow. Okay. E.T. is number 2 for me,
Yeah.
and then Empire's number 1. So, because I'm just a huge Star Wars nerd. Those are my top 3 that we've seen. So, so any New Year's resolutions for the year coming up regarding movies? Anything you'd like
keep,
to try and
watching new ones.
Hell yeah, that's on there. I think you kind of just nailed it with the war movies that we watched. You're like, with putting your phone down. I'd like to try and do that more and be more immersed in the movies. It's hard with movies you've seen already.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really hard to do that. So, but I want to try that. That would probably be a resolution for me. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I love this. Is like honestly one of like my favorite episodes of the year because you get to like sum up what we liked, what we didn't like. Yeah, I'd like to see more of better movies. I think we want to do more mainstream movies. We mentioned that. It's like all these movies are kind of obscure. Some of our listeners have told us that, you know, they want to listen to us, but at the same time, there's movies that they hadn't seen, and so they're not going to listen until they see the movie. And it's hard because these movies are kind of obscure, and they're not going to go out of their way to watch them. So the goal for next year for us is to do more mainstream movies that you have seen, so you can listen at your leisure, and hopefully it's movies you've already seen. But again, the whole goal of this podcast is to get you to watch these movies and to get you to kind of think outside the box and watch these obscure 80s movies. However, starting next year, we're kind of going away from 80s movies. Jake, you want to tell them what we're doing? They're not gone for good. Jake, what are we doing?
Yeah, so we really like doing themed months.
Yes.
So we're going to continue doing that, but we are going to start branching out into the other decades before and after the 80s, looking for more mainstream, more, we are going to still try and find new stuff for both of us or new stuff for one of us, because it is fun to watch those. And I think we want to probably try and schedule a little bit better, because we're not super great about that sometimes. But
we've got other lives. It's we've got lives other than this, so it's hard sometimes.
But I mean, we'll try and put things out ahead of time so everyone can kind of follow along. If you have or have not seen something that we're doing, give you a few weeks to watch.
I need to do a better job of that for sure.
But so looking at some new decades, hopefully we'll find some gems out there. I'm excited.
Me too. All right. So for January, we're going to do all-time favorites, and that's movies that Jake and I both have a common love for. And so we're going to start
most
off
of which we've watched together.
Yes. And we've watched a lot of movies together. But I don't think we watched number 2 together.
I think we did.
Did we?
I feel like we saw it in theaters together.
I saw it here in theaters. Came out in 2015. I was here in Arizona.
Oh, maybe not then.
But either way, it's still a top favorite. All right. So we're going to start off the year with Inception. Christopher Nolan, 2010. Excellent movie. I have a lot of nostalgia for that movie because it was right when we graduated high school. And I remember, and I'll repeat this in our review next week, but I remember writing in everyone's yearbook, go see Inception. No joke. That's what I wrote in everyone's fucking yearbook. And people after were like, dude, thank you for telling me to see that. I'm not even joking. So that's first movie. Second movie, this is one of my all-time favorite movies, period. Mad Max Fury Road. One of the best action movies that came out in 2015. Awesome movie.
One of the best action movies
period.
Probably ever. Yeah.
Yes. This movie, I can't wait to talk about this movie. It's one of my all-time favorites as well. It is so great. It's one of my favorite directors, Snatch, from Guy Ritchie. Speaking of Brad Pitt, it's a Brad Pitt banger. It is so fucking awesome. Love that movie. And then for the end of January, we're doing The Departed, which we've talked about that a handful of times on this podcast. It's one of our all-time favorites. It's such a great crime movie. It's Martin Scorsese. So you guys are going to love that. We're going to love that. We can't wait. That's how we're going to start off the year. And hopefully you guys listen and comment, subscribe. Let us know your top 5. Let us know your bottom 5. Let us know some themes you want us to see or watch, themes of do a Eddie Murphy month, for example. Do a Edward Norton month. Do a psychological thriller month. Something like that. If you want us to do that, let us know. We can add that to the schedule. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed this year of Movie Matters. We have. I love doing this podcast. It's so much fun. I get to connect with one of my best friends, Jake, and I get to talk about one of my best hobbies, movies. Can't get any better than that. It's just fun. So thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. And hopefully you've been enjoying this with us as well.
Yeah. see you in the new year.
Later, guys.